Colin McCann ist einer meiner Lieblingsautoren und ich bin sehr stolz, ihn interviewt zu haben.
Well, I suppose the thing about Transatlantic is that I wanted very much to write about peace, and much of the novel is about the peace agreement in Ireland in 1998 after 700 years of war and 30 years of an immediate war. That in order to write about peace, you really have to also be able to write about war, and it's in opposition to one another. The French philosopher Montaigne says that happiness writes white, so that if you're writing about happiness, it's like throwing white ink against a white page. There's nothing in relief. So in order to write about peace, one must really confront the reality of war, and so many stories are tangled up in our conflicts, and good stories make for good conflict makes for good stories. However, it's not just good enough only to talk about war. I wanted to talk about the peace and the peace agreement.
Sein neuer Roman ist ein kraftvolles und vielschichtiges Epos, das eine Brücke schlägt zwischen dem alten und dem neuen Kontinent. Der Autor verwebt 3 wichtige Momente in der amerikanischen und in der irischen Geschichte mit dem Schicksal von 4 Frauengenerationen.
Well, I think that the spectacular achievement of, say, the Irish situation at the end of the 20th century was the fact that we were able to make the transition from war to an idea of peace. The peace is not fully in place yet. The peace is always tenuous, but for peace to occur, it has to happen over and over and over and over again. Whereas it's quite easy to break the peace, as we can see from world situations, constantly. But I think peace is more muscular. People have an idea that peace is soft, that it's somehow effete. No, I think peace has a real muscularity to it, and we must develop our notions around peace by saying peace is courageous, peace is brave, peace is difficult, all of these things. If we can acknowledge it as such, then it will have more of an aura for us.
Colin McCann, der große irische Geschichtenerzähler, der in New York lebt, schafft es immer wieder am Beispiel von persönlichen Schicksalen einen ganz ungewöhnlichen Blick auf die ältere und die jüngere Vergangenheit zu werfen.
With the process.
Yeah, for me, writing a novel is like setting out in a boat and you're an explorer, and you don't know where it is that you're going to land. Most of the time, you capsize pretty early on, or you get caught by a drift and you go in the wrong direction, or you get shipwrecked somewhere, or you come back to shore. But every now and then, you find a little place, an island that you can explore, and when you land upon that island, you don't know what it is. You don't know how big it is. You don't know if it's another continent. You don't know if you've gone east, west, south, or north. And for me, the whole process is about the exploration. So I don't map it out beforehand. I don't know where I'm going. This is a complicated book, but I don't know what the map is.
In seinem neuen Roman geht es um den Kampf gegen die Sklaverei in den USA, den ersten Non-Stop-Transatlantikflug 1919 und die langwierigen Friedensverhandlungen im Nordirland-Konflikt. Dass dabei auch immer echte, historische Figuren auftreten, gehört schon fast zu seinem Markenzeichen.
I'm not so sure either character or idea come first. I think the language comes first, and out of the language comes the idea. So it's through content that form gets dictated. So for me, I don't have the idea first. I have the image, and then I find the language to match the image, and then the character comes out of the language, and then the idea. The final idea actually comes from. I don't think it's a good idea to know exactly what it is that you're doing. I know that sounds odd, but to be too acutely conscious, to overthink things, is a problem.
Einmal mehr zieht McCanns klare, präzise Prosa seine Leser in den Bann. Transatlantik ist in einer leuchtenden Sprache geschrieben, intensiv und kraftvoll. Mit wenigen Strichen schafft er es, das Magische eines Moments heraufzubeschwören. Zitat: Die Tage zogen sich, die Stunden trieben dahin. Das Meer erstreckte sich in majestätischem Grau, der Horizont war leicht gekrümmt, Mutter und Tochter saßen an Deck und sahen dorthin zurück, wo die rote Abendsonne unterging.
Well, I like the music. I like rhythm. I mean, I'm an Irish writer, and sound is incredibly important to me. So you know, even when I'm writing, I'm reading it aloud and getting the rhythm of it correct. So in certain ways, I wanted the book, especially in the sort of 1920s, 1919, 1918, 1920, to have a ragtime feel. Mm-hmm. So to just to make the words bounce, to make them sound differently, to have a jazz to them too.
Transatlantik verwebt 3 historische Momente mit dem Schicksal 3 Frauen, angefangen mit der irischen Hausmagd Lily, in der Frederick die Liebe zur Freiheit weckt, folgt der Roman ihrer Tochter Emily in die USA und später zurück auf die Insel. Ihr Leben spiegelt den Verlauf der bewegten Nationalgeschichte Irlands und Amerikas. Dabei spielt ein vergessener, über 3 Generationen nicht geöffneter Brief eine entscheidende Rolle.
Yeah, in fact, I mean, this book is owned by the women. Even though in first appearance it's about men, it's about Frederick Douglass, a slave, it's about George Mitchell, a politician, it's about 2 RAF pilots. In the end, they're all knotted together by women. The whole fabric is stitched by women.
Ah, okay, I see.
Transatlantik ist ein kraftvolles Epos über den Widerstreit von Geschichte und persönlichem Schicksal. Geschrieben mit unvergleichlicher Intensität, mit leuchtenden Szenen und klingender Sprache. Ein Meisterwerk.